Well, I think Americans' perspective of what global poverty is and the voices of the poor, the people that we serve in poverty, are two different things. The American perspective defines poverty as focusing on material needs.
But I also think from a bigger scale, I tend to think of systems of poverty and systems of injustice that have built up over time. I think there are very few quick fixes to things like poverty, and the more you kind of scratch under the surface, the more you realize that there are so many other things that are interconnected, such as education and healthcare, and all of these things are all interwoven. So poverty is not the kind of thing that can be fixed like that. It's something that's way more complex.
And they also feel like they have no voice. Guatemala, I think of people who live in El Salvador and in Honduras.
I think the one thing I would want the world to know about global poverty is that people are not projects to be solved. People are not helpless. I think it's so easy to drift into this idea of being a savior to the poor, of coming in and fixing their problems and saving them, when in reality what they really need is they need someone to give them a leg up instead of a handout, to come alongside them and to help them develop their own communities rather than coming in and trying to fix them from without. I think if we can start looking at people as people and not as projects, I think that is going to be the first step in actually alleviating global poverty. When we rehumanize people and start to look at them as actual humans and not as ideas or concepts or projects, that's the main thing that we need to know as a globe to really address the systemic injustices and the poverty of our world today.
I also think of Haiti. I think of Thailand, Cambodia.
One of the things I think of when I think of poverty is some of the kids that I met in Haiti, in a rural village, whose hair had started to have little bits of orange in it, and that was from a nutrient deficiency, and it was a sign of malnutrition. Again, Haiti is one of those examples of people have tried to fix it with quick fix solutions for years, but most of it has just been well-intentioned efforts that have only caused more harm than good. So anyway,
because poverty is a global problem. It's not just a one city problem, or it's not just one country problem.
Is some of the young women I met in Cambodia who had been sold to local brothels by their own parents. It's a completely baffling idea, this concept that someone would actually sell their own daughter into sex slavery. But it's a complete result of the poverty in their community, the fact that they have no other choices, and it's a choice between selling your daughter into slavery or watching your own kids starve. I mean, if that's the only option that someone has, then yeah, poverty can lead to that. Probably some of the poorest places I've been have been Cambodia. There are some very, very impoverished areas in Cambodia. Eastern Europe has a lot of poverty, surprisingly, kind of in the wake of the Soviet era. Obviously, Africa comes to mind with a lot of images of poverty. That's a pretty standard place, and I've seen some significant poverty there.
It really doesn't help for the long-term solutions to just continue to give money and tangible resources. without opportunities to really have healing and restoration in broken relationships, there really is no future for people to transition from out of poverty into healthy lifestyles.